Good morning out there in there. Yeah, from out here in here. Welcome to the Sentimentalist. Hi, Mark. Have to have a slurp. Look who's here, Vivian. Julie over there. We're a little late. I don't know what the reason is. I have to turn on my. See, I thought this would be a really good idea. Breaths. This is time. I think it's very funny that. I don't think it's funny. I think it's wonderful, actually, that you come join with me. Because I just feel every week I say to Julie, who would want to listen to that? I mean, just talking about my own world here. It is a beautiful world. Our pond's down 3 feet or more. That's how much we need rain. And of course, raise a cup to the Red Doc reading April.
August.
Did I say April? I really said April. August 19 at 6:30, and they predict rain. So either bring an umbrella in case it spits a little bit, or that's the way it goes. I'd hate to see us not be able to do it.
But we need rain every bit.
Of course, Julie doesn't care if we have the Red Doc because, as she just said, we need rain, every bit of it. So let's pray for rain and get rid of that Red Doc good time, huh? I love this dog, don't you, huh? Yeah. Well, good breaths throughout your day. Remember the wonderful Irish saying, this is happiness, rather than trying to be happy. So you look over at your dog and you go, this is happiness. And that really helps. You know, I really believe, I do. I believe that helps, that throughout the day you keep doing that. Because he's getting worse. He really is. And we don't live in the United States anymore. And I'm telling you, we don't. If you send the National Guard into and I don't mean to bring this stuff up, but just these simple, as my German friend said, is he just following the Nazi handbook? Is he just going step by step like they did? I mean, that's really unsettling, isn't it? I mean, knot in the stomach. And I'm sorry to bring it up, but I want to empathize with, I think all of us need to empathize with one another and just know that even if we don't know anybody, that there's a lot of people who care deeply. My former student and man, an unforgettable student, truly, Rachel Pridgeon then, Peckham now, Rachel Peckham. She was named, she teaches at Marshall University. Some of you remember that for a tragic reason. But she teaches at Marshall University in West Virginia, and she was named the entire state's Professor of the Year. Wow, that does the old prof. Heart good, huh? Yeah. I had a saying written down here. Are you ready for another 15 minutes that amounts to 15 minutes? It's sort of it, isn't it, little bud? Huh? Yes, you're so good. You're so good. And we went out in the mud yesterday. We had quite a day because Julie had an overwhelming day as they worked to try to fill her position at the UCC church. And she was there from 10 in the morning to almost 8 at night and interviewing and, well, doing what she does to keep the church going. We started there were 20 people. There's a couple hundred now. Yeah, how about that, huh? Yep. We can get our pillow. You could put your head on the slurp pillow. You know, you could just put your head right there on that slurp pillow. Wouldn't that be comfy? Huh?
Lucky dog.
I know. Wouldn't that be lucky for you? Here, we'll even put a little Betsy right there. Yeah. Then you can put your head on there. Ah, well, we had some rain. Not enough, of course, but we had some. And I had such a nice day yesterday, full day. Um, Former wonderful students, each of whom have published a book, and each of whom would say that's not what's most important. And they have an amazingly brilliant, like, young little first grade daughter, Claire. So Andrew Bodie Lang and Katie Bodie Lang were here yesterday, and we had the nicest time together. And their child is one of those exceptional ones. She draws all the time. The teachers, this is sweet, the teachers tell the parents that Claire draws on her math papers. So that I guess the twos become something and the threes. And do you know she sat here, right here, never asking a question. She wrote a story. There's stuff you can do. You can paint on your phone, and the child can. This is what they encourage her rather than other stuff. And she wrote an entire story and illustrated it. She said to her parents, I'd like to do this story as a palindrome. And I said to myself, what's a palindrome? That sounds like a circus act. Yeah, doesn't it? Huh? And her palindrome was the story of Taco Cat. Get it? She made that. She did that herself. Taco Cat. And then it was the whole story that you read at the cat. And then there was a P.S. There was a closing. And then there was a P.S. where she directed the story outward to the reader and said, I hope you've had a good time. God, she's even avant-garde, breaking the fourth wall.
Inventing your own forms and breaking the walls.
Yeah. Julie's laughing. Man, it's not that they don't know what to do with her. They know exactly what to do. And she's just remarkable. Uh, freaked me out. Gee. And then later that afternoon, Nick the Neff came. And Nick is a fascinating guy. He lives so independently, and he's always been this way. He's been to every state in the United States. He hasn't been to Hawaii or Alaska, every state in this part. And he just goes. He doesn't have a plan, doesn't have an agenda. He gets in his car and takes off. And he's been all over Europe. He took a one-way, he was 19, and he said to his parents after his first year of college, I don't think so. I'm going to go to Paris. They said, you're what? And he said, yeah, I have a one-way ticket. Well, you need a two-way ticket. No, one-way, because I don't know when I'll be back. And he was there for 6 months. Yeah. And we had a fun conversation about the difference in the sophistication of Paris versus almost the rest of France, where people are very just warm and not that sort of Paris, you know. Yeah, I gotta knock my phone on again here. Come on, Face ID. Oh, shoot. These are all my notes, see, and I keep thinking, I shouldn't be bothering doing that. Chris and Bertie brought flowers. It was Julie's birthday, Tuesday. And I had a wonderful Julie's birthday. And Chris and Bertie brought flowers, and the Kenny family, they brought peaches and raspberries. Raspberries. And of course, her sister gave her a hilarious card, as did Meredith, and blah, blah, blah. But she spent, and we had a visit on her birthday from the therapist, Rebecca Clott, who has moved from here, and she's been a good friend. And she's moved from here to Lansing. And yeah, she said that she's overwhelmed with clients, just overwhelmed. And she said they either want to talk about their lives in under rump or they just don't want anything to do with it. You know. I asked her a great question. I said, am I mentally well because I'm still on meds? So does that mean there's a lacking in me and these meds take the place and I'm fine and I would have been fine? Or does it mean if the meds say that I'm still mentally ill? So Julie, might be still mentally ill. Look out.
Remission. She said remission.
I'm writing a foreword for Allison Lake's remarkable collection of poems. She didn't even know how good they were. She sent them to a publisher and went, we want these. They're really, really quite powerful. So look forward to that. Let me see who else is on here. Oh, I have Rachel down as Prof of the Year, yeah. Why do you think people aren't crazy about poems and short stories? Those things are hardly ever read in this country. Ireland, they are. They love stories and they love poems. Um, well, we have to help my daughter, Meredith. Oh, by the way, Julie, would you get me that magazine that has your poem in it? It's right there on the counter, I think. I think that's the one I'd like to read. Yeah, Dunes Review. Yeah. Maybe find the poem. Well, I can look them up. Are we ready for the poem? Or do we have a little more time? Do we have a little more time?
3 minutes.
2 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes? Well, I better read the poem. But I want to check and see. I don't want to see. I don't want to have to help Mimi go back to school. Boy, that is so hard. You know, they say, oh, teachers get the whole summer off. You do, and then that adds up to, like for most of us, whoa, where'd summer go? There's a Cheryl Wheeler song, Summer's almost over, and I'm crying. Summer's almost over, and I'm crying. Feel that? So we have to help her. Doesn't it feel like summer was just a weekend? You know how a weekend goes? One day is Saturday and the next day is Monday. But summer has something about that. I don't get it. Winter doesn't have it. Fall, the leaves fall and you go, yeah, okay. But summer, it's like you never have it, you know? This summer I'm gonna, this summer I'm gonna. I'm cleaning some of the dirt that we didn't get out of you yesterday when you were in the mud. You were in the mud. Yeah, with the pond going down, we have mud. Well, anyway, the most wonderful coincidence happened on Julie's birthday. I had written a poem about her. There's a funny thing because I changed the name of Vivian, and I don't know why, to a dog's name Smug. I mean, that's a great dog name, I think. But why I didn't keep you as Vivi, I don't know. And I apologize, Viv, because you could have been the name. I'm going to put your name in anyway. Take Smug out, huh? Yeah. And the title, honest to gosh, this literary magazine came on Julie's birthday. So I put it out as a present for Julie, which it was, but I didn't expect it to come in the mail on Julie's birthday. So this is from Dunes Review. It's a wonderful magazine, comes out of Interlochen and Traverse City, but mostly Interlochen. The editors, so it's a place you like to be. feeding the fish. See the alliteration? FF, feeding the fish. When my wife gets to the end of the cobbled together dock, the fish, mostly bluegill, blue centered on each side, and with them often a half dozen or so largemouth come and form a flotilla as she balances and tosses oatmeal and tiny marbles of what the owner of the local family-owned fish and farm assured her is good for the fish, that they love the flavor we can't taste. Our dog, Viv, sits beside her, face focused on the sparkling fins. After they've taken all they can hold, they still eat, often spitting out 2 pellets at once. Viv then jumps into the shallow, believing she can catch one. The fish, untroubled, keep trying to swallow, keep diving and rising for what's still floating. Then several tiny heads show above the pond's shadowed surface. Turtles. They snatch what's left, drop down, rise, drop, rise. My wife stands, watches, and smiles, then starts singing to them, just as she did last evening, and the evening before, and will again tomorrow. You take care. Try to be cheerful. Be kind. Thanks for being with us.